Alright, so I can only afford the free version of Canva, which only allows me to make a 10-minute video. Due to extensive nerve damage, I can no longer write a script. I'm gonna have to wing it. And what I'm about to present is actually three different theories in a trench coat. They are load-bearing theories, which means I have to explain each one because they are evidence for each other. And yes, this is my real natural speaking voice. Yes, that is why I normally use a robot. I recommend subtitles. Let's go. 1985, we got Super Mario Brothers for the NES, and in it, Mario used magical mushrooms to increase his size and strength. 86 is Bros Lost Levels, or Mario Brothers 2 Japan. Same story, uses the mushroom. 1988, the Doki Doki Panic version of Super Mario Bros. 2, Mario uses mushrooms, but not the same kind of mushroom. I want to discard this from the conversation because it took place in a dream world, subcon with its own rules, its own biology, its own ecology. Don't worry about it. Super Mario Bros. 3, Mario is back to using the mushrooms. Mario Land, different place, still finds mushrooms, uses the mushrooms to get bigger, just like before. Super Mario World, same story. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, same story. Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, it's a prequel. Mario 64, where are the mushrooms? Why did Mario stop using the mushrooms? I want to address this, but to do that, I have to start by addressing a completely different concept. Cyclops from the X-Men, right? He shoots laser beams out of his eyes, but as many X-Men fans know, he doesn't actually create laser beams. His eyes act as a portal to a punch force dimension. Transformers works on a very similar principle. I've been told that when they get bigger or smaller, they don't create mass or destroy mass, they just shunt it off to a sort of isolated, dedicated Transformers girth dimension. My first theory is that the mushrooms in Mario Brothers work exactly like that. Mario is taking on some sort of mystical mass from a mushroom dimension, and whenever he takes damage and loses the effects of the mushroom, the extra mass returns to that mushroom dimension. But I believe the mushroom takes a little bit of Mario with it, if that makes any sense. A little bit of his vibes, his energy, his aura, his vim, whatever the Mushroom Kingdom equivalent is. I think the mushroom gradually over the course of numerous adventures, numerous games, this sort of mushroom mass begins to form its own Mario. Very Ship of Theseus, Lock Socks kind of situation, where we're taking the discarded Mario and making like a reject duplicate Mario, a mimic Mario. And you might already see where I'm going with this. See, the last game that Mario uses the mushrooms in, prior to a streak of avoiding them with Sunshine and Galaxy, the last game Mario uses the mushroom in before that big break from them, where he seemingly quits cold turkey for a while, the last game is Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. A game that ends with Mario having his first confrontation with Wario. Now, Wario is an interesting character. He's got some backstories inside media, like the old Nintendo Power comics, but his in-game presence is never really explained. He kidnaps a princess just to distract Mario in Mario Land 1, suggesting that he knows Mario's behaviors, he knows the way he thinks, he knows how to manipulate him, like he's been in his head. Wario takes over Mario's castle, as though he feels entitled to it, like he thinks it's his. And he looks like Mario, and he's able to use power-ups, including the mushroom, like Mario. So that is my theory. That is the spine of this whole thing. I believe that Mario, either by abusing mushrooms or using them improperly in his younger days, like maybe there's a certain technique to using mushrooms cleanly that Mario didn't master until the new Super Mario games. But I believe that Mario's irresponsible in some way use of the mushrooms, or maybe that's just how mushrooms work. Maybe it's unavoidable. I don't know. I'm putting a lot of responsibility on Mario here. But use of the mushrooms results in Wario, and that causes Mario to start reconsidering how he fights, what his main strategy in battle is, which leads to the more experimental wing cap and metal cap and vanish cap that are clearly made for him. The hats look like his hat. More experimental power-ups with those. Those didn't last. He had the Flood and Sunshine. He did not keep that either. Eventually, I think he circles back around to it and learns to use the mushrooms more properly, or maybe in a cleaner fashion. In Mario Galaxy, he accesses fire flowers and uses their abilities without ever using the mushroom, something he could not do in older games a lot of the time. It was rare to stumble across a fire flower if you didn't already have the mushroom power up. Whereas in Galaxy, there are no get bigger mushrooms, but there are definitely fire flowers all over the place, and I think that's suggestive. I think Mario is getting better over time. I think his combat abilities are improving. I think he's mastering new techniques. I don't think it's just... I know there's a very easy Doylist explanation, but I think from an in-universe continuity perspective, that's why Mario's tricks are expanding over time, why he drops some and keeps others. I think he's refining himself. I think he's perfecting his technique, and I think there are obstacles to that we are not seeing because there's not a lot of storytelling in these games. But I like filling in the blanks, like trying to figure out how he gets from point A to point B. This makes a whole lot of sense to me. It makes the mushrooms a more complex device in terms of conceptual plot type stuff. It explains Wario neatly, very neatly, and yeah, that is my theory. Like and subscribe. I'm trying some new things here. I've got links below. Donate to me, tip me on Ko-fi or PayPal, please. I've been living on nothing but canned tuna for months. I'm clearly mentally ill. Thank you and good night. Something else I totally forgot about. The 1-Up mushrooms are clearly mushrooms also, and provide literally an entire extra Mario. When I was a kid, we used to call them extra mans. Like, I gotta get an extra man. I don't have enough mans left. And one of the instruction manuals, I want to say the original Mario Bros. English manual, describes them as extra Marios. So that easily feeds into the mushrooms create Wario's theory, and gives it a little more support, because it's already wild. All of my theories are pretty much in the weeds anyway, but this one's got a little more meat to it, so I wanted to get it out there. Yeah.